Thank you for joining us today once again. Nnamdi Kanu's trial is facing too many dimensions that is going to complicate the matter more. The medical report that was presented to Justice Omotosho, Nnamdi Kanu says is false. It's a fake medical report. If the judge has reached any conclusion based on that, because that medical report claimed that Nnamdi Kanu was fit to face trial, and as a result of that, the trial progresses. If it was found out that at the end of the day that no proper examination was done on him, that the medical report is deficient of report to be said this is Nnamdi Kanu's actual state of health, could it vitiate the entire processes?
Well, it's hard to say, because what I think that can happen if the so-called medical report found to be, wanting or fall short of the requirement that could have produced a medical report, the one option that is open to Nnamdi Kanu, which he has explored, is to sue those who claim to have carried out that medical.
It's Nigerian Medical Association
who claim that they
has already sued them.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But to say that it will vitiate the judgment, I don't think that would be at the court of appeal. It will form part of the argument and the fact, because it will be a new fact. Because before you could establish that fact, you had to come to the point that yes, it has been established that there were no medical examination or interview before that report was produced, and that report was produced out of malice and recklessness and against professional ethics. Yes, if that is established and is before a court of appeal, it will not be the same court, because if the court has taken a decision, you have to appeal that decision, because he cannot sit over his own decision. But the proper thing for Nnamdi Kanu to do, if he so believe that this report was a fall short of requirement, it is false, it is not true, he was not examined in any way before the report was produced on him, is to go to court to say which he had done. I think he has taken the right step legally. I think to a large extent, Nnamdi Kanu has been a lover of rule of law. He always go to court to fight for his right.
Okay, let me come to you to the intricacies of it a little bit. Health changes from time to time. If for any reason Nnamdi Kanu was examined by the medical doctors led by Bala and Co. If he was examined and they reached to a report that he was medically fit, and another report is carried out thereafter, and which shows a different result. Even the first result can still claim that as at the date they carried their own report, that this was what was. So is it not going to be complicated, except Nnamdi Kanu is able to prove that he was never physically examined or whatever, if such never happened? Is this complexity going to stall this case once again?
Well, it's fictional to say one was examined, one was not examined, because from the horse's mouth and from records that we have, we reported this case before, that Nnamdi Kanu said the NMA couldn't have given that kind of a report because he was never examined. Now, I wonder, as professionals, how they got to where they are going. These are consultants, these are senior doctors that have also been into administration. And a man was not examined. If he's examined, he's in a facility owned by the security agency. If they went in there to check on him, the record will be there. If they didn't go in there, the record will be there. Nnamdi Kanu said that I was never examined medically. So when they saw the report to write, is what I don't know. Now, if he was examined, for example, today, and they found out that nothing was wrong with him, and tomorrow or next tomorrow, we can see somebody alive today, tomorrow
he's gone, yes.
Do you understand? And all that. And he was given a clean bill of health, just 24 hours or 48 hours or thereabout. So, but on this particular case, he was not examined at all, and that brings to mind where we say that things should be done in the right way. Now, I don't know how the court proceedings are, but on a normal day, there should have been some court people, right? Because it's just like when you serve a judgment, when you want to prosecute a judgment, the police go to arrest or something. Somebody must be caught for. It should be there. I don't know how.
Okay, let me come to you, Philip. The issues of medical report on someone, is really very important. After all, the other day, Abuja was long on lockdown because they were protesting for Nnamdi Kanu's release. So it's a serious political element now in Nigeria. Wasn't it important to involve his own personal doctor or a doctor that he kind of trusts to be part of this process? Do you just get Nigeria Medical Association to select doctors, to work for him? Is it a rule or a law? I mean, shouldn't the judge really wanted something independent that he can rely on? Isn't it important to include doctors that Nnamdi Kanu would trust or nominate or whatever to be part of that investigation before arriving at that report?
Yes, you see, you asked this question to help us throw more light on the case.
Yes.
What led to the court ordering the Nigerian Medical Association to carry out this examination and write a report on Nnamdi Kanu was that Nnamdi Kanu has earlier on submitted a medical report to the court to say that his health is deteriorating, that the court should allow him travel to the United States of America for medical attention. And the prosecuting counsel opposed to it. It was this opposition that led the court to order the Nigerian Medical Association to carry out an independent medical examination of Nnamdi Kanu to ascertain whether the report being presented by his legal team is the right or it is just a makeup. It was on that strength that the court ordered the medical association to carry out to consult a panel to carry out the medical report. Yes, even as at that instant of the court, it will be proper for the lawyers to be there on the date of the examination
and the doctor
and his doctor, and also the prosecution team also to be there. But there's no way to show that these things were done in that manner. So if there were no record to show, I think the first thing to do here is to first of all believe in Nnamdi Kanu and let for the Nigerian Medical Association to come and disabuse the mind of Nigeria that they actually carry out this medical examination on Nnamdi Kanu with proof that Nnamdi Kanu is just making up his case. But on failure to do that, I think Nnamdi Kanu is going to court to bring an action against them.
All right. In this case, politically, do you think the government is going to be, if they really want to quash this case, they are going to be interested in the complexity of this, particularly when Nnamdi Kanu is even originally saying that this court wasn't jurisdiction to try him because of the manner he was brought in, and the same person saying he needs to go to America to treat himself. How do you think the government is going to weigh?
Well, because of the case, the complexity of the case, that's why it has some twists and turns, But if the government are really serious about it, I think the Tinubu administration should deal with this matter once and for all. We've seen other people, for example, Dasuki was held for years when he was chief security advisor to the president, when the president left power. After all, till today, it was a political solution that
eventually after 4 years,
exactly, solved the issue. And so many other ones that we have. I don't think this one should be left.
I know you are not an advocate of political solution, but in this case,
no, I'm not an advocate of political solution.
Yeah.
But it's still a good thing if the president can pull his strings. Yes, all over the world, really look for. We always have political solutions. But the only thing I said that most of the time it subverts justice and changes the common man.
Okay, let me looking at the substance of this case, Philip, especially the manner with which Nnamdi Kanu was brought into Nigeria. Do you think political solution, be clouding all this further suit on the medical report and all that is going to be better than waiting for the courts to determine this case entirely? Because at the end of the day, this suit on medical report is going to introduce serious problem to the main suit.
Yes, I think seriously, to be honest with you, I think the Nnamdi Kanu is more of a political problem than a legal problem. Having said that, so it is safe to say that a political solution is far better than a legal solution, because if Nnamdi Kanu has avowed that he has been charged that his charges does not fall within any known law to the country, and that could be a very long way to go in getting justice, because what it means that what he has set the record, the tone that after the court of first instance give their judgment, is heading to the court of appeal, and on and on and on. And if at the end of the day it was established that he was not charged under any known law, and the government desire to prosecute him, they can also rearrange it from another angle. So, for me, political solution would be the best bet for this country.
All right, let me come to you now. A lot of people were saying that since Simon Ekpa has been jailed in Finland for terrorism, that the chances of Nnamdi Kanu being freed here, except for the manner he was brought in, is going to be hard.
Well, Simon Ekpa is not in Nigeria. He's in Finland.
Yeah.
He's in jail there. And
he wasn't kidnapped into Finland.
It wasn't kidnapped into Finland, exactly. That's number one. Then the magnitude of Simon Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu are not on the same level at all. Simon Ekpa was inciting
violence,
a lot of violence, do you understand, and all that. And also knowing that the Igbo race somehow, you can't deny that there are agitations, and sometimes you see people are different. Oh, like you said, all over the world people agitate.
Yeah,
do you understand?
It's happening even in America.
Even in America,
Puerto Ricans the other day were saying, "No, we are due to be free from America."
Exactly.
The Puerto Ricans imagine that people are trying to be part of America, but Puerto Ricans are saying, "No,
we don't
want to be on our own."
So
even California, as big as it is, people are saying, "Why don't just?"
It's one of the biggest cities.
Yeah, why don't we just go on our own? In Canada, it's the same thing. Alberta just did a vote the other time. Quebecers want to go their own.
A referendum.
In Spain, Catalonia want to go their own. United Kingdom, Scotland, just I think a few years ago, just lost the election. Going on their own. It's all over the world.
It's all over the world. So if he says, "I want," what's it called, a Biafra Strait, and he can't get it, if they want to go into a referendum, fine. The Caledonian, for example, they didn't go into a referendum. They just, in a sort of way, just try to quench it.
Yes.
And for the past how many years?
How many years?
We have not heard of it, and that doesn't mean there's still no.
It's still there.
Squabble,
it's still there.
So what I think the government should do, I don't think, I'm of the opinion, I don't think that the Igbos wants to go on their own. I think, and I am an advocate of Nigeria as a country.
Yeah.
That's the truth. I'm an advocate. I think the bigger the better. Do you understand? Where you can get everything. If you don't get it in this house, you get it in this house.
I think what they're trying to summarize is that they probably just want a fair, a balance for all.
Yeah.
So just one word, a country where everybody is equal, where you don't have to lose election because you are an Igbo man or you're a Yoruba man or you're a Fulani man, but just because you didn't win that election, that is why you didn't win. Then if you won, it's simply because you won. One word before we leave.
You see, what we need to do to get things right is to look inward. Is democracy working for us? Is it the kind of democracy that will work in Africa? Bear in mind that we came from different backgrounds, come from different ethnicity. I think what we need is a country where the law we give to ourselves rules us.
All right, we need a country that is, fair to every citizen, fair to everybody, and if we have that country, we don't think anybody will be asking to be part of a smaller country. It's not natural. Until we'll be right back.